Ringside Club, things of that nature, man. We in the building. A lot of pro wrestling happened this week. A lot of life happened this week. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tend to house business, and house business around this time happens to be the show before the show, which happens to be survey time. So we were just talking off air a little bit about your man Nick Aldis, fresh out of Impact Wrestling. And word on the street is that he's actually not with Impact Wrestling anymore. So the survey to go around the ring before we start this show is as follows. Nick Aldis ends up where? If it's not Impact, is it AEW? Is it WWE/NXT? Where does he go?
Is this right or wrong answers only? What are we doing here?
Damn, I don't even know I don't know. I don't know if I have a right answer because I wouldn't have expected him to leave Impact Wrestling. So I'm going to say he returns to Impact Wrestling. Ron, what you got?
I say he goes to NXT.
Ooh, I like that take, Ron. I'm going to double down and say NXT.
Nick Aldis goes to Japan.
And Chad doesn't, but the show starts right now.
Peace to the gods, the Ringside Club Pod. My name is A.O. Say you're the Ron and Don. Blame Boogie, while you at it, blame Chad Law. K-Fabe is dead, break the fourth wall. Whatever style, whether it's lucha or strong style. Come through the beam, we fly, burn the bar down. Back to the pad, chop it up for the par. Ringside Club, intro to the squad as the show starts.
Oh, hello there.
Gang, gang.
How you doing? Peace to you and yours. If you are a god or a earth or an earth, peace to you, man. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. It's the mightiest of the mighty, my favorite podcast. Soon to be yours, the mightiest. Once again, broadcasting live from the Empire Tri-State like we usually do. Every Thursday, 9:05 live. Sometimes it is I, it is we. The Ringside Club, episode 45, 1 week away from the first year anniversary, man.
Yeah.
Somebody should give us a round of applause, but if it's not going to be y'all, it will be us clapping for ourselves,
yes,
man.
y'all. Yes, y'all.
How we feeling, fellas?
Twisted.
I'll say ever since I had that batch of trash, everything I've had has been fantastic over here, including the liquor. So hey,
turkey bags over there, huh?
Turkey bags, no, I did get more than I usually do just because the flavors were so good, and I have PTSD from that fateful day we podcasted about not too long ago. But
yeah, it couldn't have got any worse than that. I felt for you,
bro.
You had the boo-boo wheat right there, man. That shit was crazy.
I could call the flavor. If I was to give it a flavor, I would say it was Triscuits, bro. Like
you was out here smoking a bag
Triscuits,
of
man.
Smoking a bag of kale.
Damn, kale would probably be better.
I remember that, dude. I remember that.
That's healthier, actually.
What's going on in Ronnie's world right now, man? Ron, what you got going on, bro?
I'm lagging. Jesus.
That was a lot louder than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Hey, the drops are working this week.
What's going on? My was I just
Yeah, that
blew
was
up.
like when Bugs Bunny pop on the screen or Daffy Duck pop on the screen and niggas smoke a cigar and the shit just explode on it.
That
was
trying
crazy.
to kill us all.
Yo,
That was crazy.
Well, shit, in my world, I just blew up. Apparently, good lord.
No, word.
I'm lagging, but
funny.
I'm lagging. But we still here. Well, when you said turkey bags, I it made me hungry.
Hey, audio folks, you didn't hear that because I edited it out already. But for the people watching live or listening live, my deepest, sincerest apologies.
Not word ever.
I just George Bush the button. But yeah, man,
Hey, yo.
it's the Ringside Club, once again, like we do every Thursday night. So let's get the formalities out of the way. For starters, you can catch us at theringsideclub.com. Everything you need to know is right there. That includes all past episodes. Like I mentioned earlier, we broadcast live every Thursday here on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. That's on air, but if you want to catch us on demand, you can do so. The video is on YouTube, the audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and, of course, all other podcast platforms. On social, we're pretty much everywhere that social is. That means TikTok, that means Instagram, that means Threads, that means Twitter. If there's a social media account that we haven't set up yet, hit us in the DM somewhere. We'll probably set it up because something's about to launch tomorrow, I guess. You know what I mean? How'd that go? But yeah, man, we're there everywhere, moving at the speed of need. And as far as I go, I happen to be your reigning and defending two-time RSC PPV predictions champion
Yo,
of the
y'all
world.
went crazy on the intros and just bypassed the TV champion. But it's all right, though. I'm going to let y'all get y'all shit over.
You
Get
ain't
it
the
off.
champ, bro.
You ain't the
Get it
champ.
off,
I
man.
beat you
Get
last
it off,
night,
man.
family.
You ain't
You
the
ain't
champ,
over.
and we
Yo,
ain't
they-
even.
they-
We didn't even
It's
get
over.
to your part of the introduction yet, kid.
It's over.
Look at this guy.
Yo, man.
Man
Crazy.
loses his belt, loses his mind, man.
Nah,
Jeez,
champ
I ain't even
still
hit
is,
my.
man.
Can I hit my drop, bro?
Yeah, hit the drop, man.
The champ is here.
I don't know why this guy won't put the title up for the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view this weekend. It's crazy.
It's a hell of a pot calling the kettle black. But
Who I
Ron,
got
what
to
it do?
face in the Eliminator? Huh? Who I got to face in the Eliminator to get a title shot?
You can
God,
face
man.
me again. I'm putting the belt up every week. I ain't like you. Let's get this
Look at
TV
that.
title
Look at
running.
that. Look at that.
You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
I think we could probably do a little Ring of Honor joint, but we'll get to that, man. Let the proceedings proceed. Look at how hungry this guy is for a title. Look at this.
Run it back.
Man,
But
just
when
man
we
just
was
lost
talking
it.
about actually defending championships, man, he his
Yo,
voice
I
got
ain't heard
soft.
a peep. I ain't heard a peep from cats when it was time.
He was looking
Yo.
away from the camera.
Ayo, he dead ass he had his Tony Khan moment, his Dax Shepard. He was like, yo, that's all good and all, but play my music when I'm on the screen, bro. Like,
Yo,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's throw it to my mans and them though.
Hey, who are you? Let me introduce you to the other Don. Don.
yes, sir. You already know. It's the Don, the return of the Don, Ron the Don, also known as Ron D. Orton, also known as the Chocolate Fighter.
Yeah, I knew it was coming, son. I
Yup.
knew it was coming.
Yes,
my
sir.
nigga Paul.
And live from
I
the.
knew it was coming.
I didn't say. Hey, listen. I ain't say the other thing. I
He's
said the
coming.
Chocolate.
He's coming.
yo, Rowdy Ronda Ron in the
Rowdy
building.
Ronda.
It's Ron D. Orton, man, coming out of
Ron D.
nowhere, you
Orton.
dig? Ron D.
Coda
Orton.
Ron Bushi. He's coming, yo.
Yes,
Pause.
sir. Live from the 718.
The
You
great
see-
Moot Ron.
You see the hat, you see the shirt. We got the coffee. We got all that. We got new shirts. Blam. What's good, Quail Bug?
You feel me?
Look what you did.
Yo, if you seen that little fat plump guy that's over my shoulder and something, I did it. I got paid for it, and you're mad. So speaking of people that are mad, there's a guy right above me on this video, and he lost a title last night. He's gonna be a little salty this whole time, so bring a glass of water on through this podcast. You're gonna need it. It's gonna be pretty unhealthy for you. So we'll just see what he's got to say. I'm sure there's a lot. So take it away, Chad.
Adrenaline in my soul.
It is the reigning and defending RSC television champion. The real champ.
Fam, come on.
The real
False
champ.
accusations.
The real champion himself,
Right,
Young
exactly.
Godiva, PHAD. I'm currently wearing my hat like 50 Cent right now because it's Miss FTW right now. You know what I'm saying? It's fuck the world.
This nigga's the FTW champ of the Ringside Club.
I'm making a title.
Unsanctioned.
I'm making an unsanctioned title. You know what I'm saying? And over the course of this recording, and depending how outlandish our takes go, you might see me move my hat towards Joel Ortiz's side. You know what I'm saying? And just get outlandish with our takes like this. So
As
who
long
knows?
as it's not on no TI shit where it's like barely on your head and like if a gust or a very small breeze were to come in the room, you would be hatless. We're good.
Yo, honestly, if the takes get outlandish, I'm just bringing my hat even closer like this.
To the
And
camera
it's
every
just gonna
time.
get crazier.
You know,
And it's just gonna get crazier. You know what I'm
with
saying?
the whole joint. With the
Get the
front
merch,
over
though.
the eyes.
You
Yeah,
see what
get
we
the
all
merch.
in. You know what I'm saying?
Find
RFC
that
shit.
hood.
You see the hood. You see the
Yes,
shirt.
sir.
You know what I'm saying? We
You
gonna
know
have a
what
belt
time it
soon.
is, man. Hit the
We got a website.
ringsideclub.com. Get you one of them Jarrett's little hoodie season's right around the corner the way time is flying, so you should probably get that now.
Man,
Yo,
it could be
man,
cold.
it's
As soon as
crazy.
that sun go down, boy, it's cold and chilly, man. Get your hood right, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to start doing the track jackets. You know what I'm saying? Get on our Roman Reigns shit. Get on our sweatsuit shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Don shit right
Ideas and shit. But y'all go cop up. It's the RSC, the
Yo,
Almighty.
if Chad starts walking around in like black cargo pants and military boots, I'm not with it. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? If I'm the only one that's got to say it, I'll say it. I'm just not really with it. I support you in whatever you do,
Fam.
but
I
It's
want you to
tech
be
suit.
happy, but
It's tech suit,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, if that's your happiness, then who am
RSC
I?
Dickies is crazy.
Yeah.
yo,
not gonna
Dickies
fit
period
shame,
are
but-
crazy. Damn, I
word.
remember. Oh man, I had mad colors. Shouts to
Same.
everybody used to match Dickie colors with the
Bro,
Is
I remember.
somebody watching this shit right now off our Twitter feed that's wearing Dickies?
Nah, you
That's
used
either
to.
worn Dickies,
Jay
wears
Worthy
Dickies,
is probably
or
never
wearing
did that,
Dickies right now. Jay Worthy might not be watching the podcast, but Jay Worthy's probably wearing
Peace to
Dickies
him.
right now.
he is definitely probably somewhere.
peace
booing
to
it.
everybody out there with an 8-ball
But
jacket
I
still in
remember
good
when
condition.
you used to have to go to like Army Navy to get shit. You couldn't just go to a regular store and get none of
Army
that because it
Navy,
wasn't in the
crazy.
stores. You had to go to an Army Navy
Nah,
to get
you right.
fatigues or something like. Oh yes, there was
What a
day
time!
when
White
Boog-
tees and Dickies, man. What a
Boog
time!
wore fatigues. You know,
I never
if you
fell
have
into
pictures.
that, man. I never
White
did
tees, Dickies, and ups. What
All
a
I
time!
Do is, all I do is black tees and jeans, man. And
Yo,
black
Warner
Air Force
brother, man.
Ones, like,
Warner
Yo.
brother.
and do rags. That's it.
Or
You know Ron not the champ because he ain't got a do rag on right now. The cape ain't out, man.
Oh, no, I mean I can put one on next week because I'm still a champ at heart. You dig?
Ron said he's the
champ.
people's
That was the
champ.
most. That was the most fucking.
That was
turning
baby
just
face.
turned
He-
face.
This guy
He
was
just
That was a
turned
face
face.
turn.
That was
This guy
the
turned
biggest
face
face
with
turn
I'm
we
just
ever
saying,
had.
like
That was
Yo, we need
crazy.
a graphic.
I
We need a
just ain't
graphic
feel like-
for
I
face
just
and
ain't-
heel turns.
yo, I just ain't feel like putting the cape on today. That's it.
Ron is
still,
face.
Still fly.
Randy
still fly.
Orton didn't want to put the cape on, but he's still a hero to
Yo.
all the millions and millions at home.
I'm just
My
saying, and the millions.
Charlotte Ron.
Of
Cue
the
Charlotte
of the-
Ron's music,
listen,
man.
of the Donettes, man. The Donettes support.
Yo,
you dig?
peace to all the Donettes out
The
there.
Donna, yo,
You dig?
yo, let's get the show on the road.
I'm
Oh
just
man,
saying.
you see what type of time we on tonight. This is about to
Rumor
be a
has it-
real
rumor has
silly
it-
episode.
Ron be hitting the Donettes on JPay, making sure they're good with their news and shit.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying? Nah,
You know.
relax.
nah, the Donnettes,
Hey, it is what it
Donnettes
is.
behind the G wall is
Hell
crazy.
yeah. What? They
Inhale,
listening in
exhale.
Right now.
Listen,
Inhale, exhale.
Why would
Ain't
I
no
be?
breathe, stretch, shake, let it go, man.
hey, listen.
word.
All y'all gotta know is I keep him in line. That's it. That's all y'all need. To know.
We are getting
Yo.
outlandish. Let's bring it
He
back
said
in.
Not me.
A lot of pro wrestling news happened. We was talking about a bunch of news. I don't know if you could pull that back up, Chad, but one thing I noticed this week is your man Bryan Danielson a couple weeks ago had surgery, so he said as much. Has a steel rod in his forearm after that nasty ass break at Forbidden Door. No timetable on his return, but he said he will be back. So peace to Bryan, man, and get healthy,
This
get
time
back
in his
soon,
career
man.
too, you know that ain't fun to do that right now. I
Exactly.
feel like this was his victory lap too, man.
But you know what?
Older
This is
you get, the
expected.
older you get, the harder it is to actually bounce back from these, man.
It's kind of expected with Danielson, man. It's like every 6 months. Like I kind of saw this coming. Like I was
It's
like,
tough
yo,
because, like, you can make the argument that he's injury prone, but you can also make the argument that this was kind of like a freak injury. You know what I mean? His arm was
He
literally
goes-
just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
he goes hard every match, so it's understandable
Yeah.
why, like, you know what I'm saying, the shit ends up the way it does sometimes. Because every time he wrestles, it's not like some exhibition bullshit. It's like, nah, yeah,
He hits
He
the
goes
fucking
hard
pedal to the
every
metal.
time, man. Word.
yeah.
I go hard.
Speaking of Bryan Danielson and BCC and all that, this is specifically for Brian H. Waters right now. I think he's gonna pop at this if he's listening. But you know, what's good with the exploding fork face match that we had last night? Mox was like digging into people's faces. I didn't see an ounce of blood when it was going on. Did anybody catch that? Or am I bugging out? Like what happened?
I saw, fam, your man Cesaro, Claudio, was in that match on all types of glass, nails, and all that. I don't think he bled at all last night, bro.
Nah, he can't. He went in looking just like boiled chicken and came out looking just like boiled chicken. It was the same thing. It was
Kenny
like
and
if you were to,
Hangman
if you were to not
got
cook
stabbed with
the meal,
fork.
you know.
and didn't bleed.
And dude was stabbing everybody too. Like,
That was an Ikea
Getting
fork.
gigged. Everybody was getting
Plastic forks?
gigged last night.
Nah, it wasn't plastic. It was Ikea.
Nah, he
That's
got a
kind of
plastic fork
wild
from
to
the
me. Like,
bodega.
dog.
They had the wild Crayola out. They were stabbing each other with crayons last night. It was hectic.
Man got the 50 pack from the bodega and was like, all right, I'm just gonna try this
Nah,
out.
I
Where
think
do
it was
we
Dave
rank?
LaGreca. Somebody had a good take on it though. They were saying I don't know who it was on Busted Open, but they said, what if this was like Mox's "F you" to everybody saying he bleeds too much, which is possible.
It's fine by me. I was
And-
entertained.
And he,
I thought the match was great. The bed of nails was a good
Hell
touch.
yeah.
It seemed
I
really
enjoyed
dangerous.
I watched
enjoyed
that.
everything.
Then I watched the Dark Side of the Ring with Abdul the Butcher, and
I
was
watched
like,
in reverse, but yeah. I
What
was
a
like,
combo.
I was like, yo, your man Mox definitely saw Dark Side last night.
Yeah,
Nah,
he was
they've been saying he's a student of Abdullah anyway, so
Yeah.
I do see similarities.
Makes sense,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie to you. I check out when it's not necessarily blood, but when it's like gory, like when it's
You ain't gonna want to sit
borderline
through
gory,
Abdullah's
I'm
Dark
out.
Side of the Ring. You don't even watch
Nah.
YouTube, so you can't. You're not even gonna sit through it anyways. But the
Nah, I'm
whole
not watching
episode's
it.
out right now. But
Yeah, I can't do
you,
it. If
you
it's
know what
not
I'm
the whole
saying?
episode, I can't.
Yeah,
It is
I
the whole
watched it
episode, not the
earlier.
whole episode. It's the whole episode.
Oh,
They got the whole shit
all
out.
right.
It's all.
Yeah,
It's all on
it
the
came out
channel.
on Tuesday.
Nah,
yeah,
I'll wait for the Flash Funk episode or some shit. I ain't watching no blood bullshit.
Nah, I watched
Piece
it.
too cool, Scorpio.
Yeah,
I watched it earlier. It's nuts, but the story is interesting though. I had no idea.
I'm just glad
No
that there's a
idea.
dark side and somebody's still alive to tell a story. How
That's a
about that?
fact.
Yo,
I
How
didn't
about that?
realize he was even still alive, yo.
Yeah,
I
how
didn't even
about that?
realize it.
He
I
ain't
was
in the
like, oh,
best of
shit.
shape, but he's in enough shape to be able to talk to the public. So peace of that, man.
Nah, he broken alive, so he's definitely on the dark side of the ring right now. That's for sure. He's on the darkest side of the ring, son.
Yeah, what
But
else was on that
cool.
list on that news rundown, bro?
We have.
Do we talk about Cornette attacking Matt Hardy? I mean, we don't have to. Like, not Cornette, but their podcast, so to speak.
No, I didn't catch that one. Did
What did
you?
he say?
me neither.
It was just on Twitter. They were just getting on Matt Hardy. The whole point of it was, I guess, Matt Hardy's best days are behind him, according to the great Brian Last, Cornette's like sparring partner on their show and shit. And they were going back and forth on Twitter. Matt Hardy obviously defending himself, just talking shit about Cornette's fans, and they were talking shit back to Hardy, talking about how, he's delirious and he's not what he thinks he is, and nobody really wants him on the screen, and please retire. And it was a whole bunch of back and forth, but all I saw out of the whole thing was a whole bunch of Hardy fans in general just like supporting Matt and saying how much they love them. That's like people shitting on like The Office or something. Like, that's just, he's got a stable of fans. You can't just like shit on Matt Hardy. It doesn't really work like that. Although I do understand where they're coming from. They are very heavy-handed. They're over-opinionated for sure. We're over-opinionated, but it's just, I think they come from a different place sometimes. These guys have agendas. It has nothing to do with me, but that was the long and
that's
short
the
of it.
thing. Like, the opinions I think are cool, but the agendas aren't.
Yeah, I'm not good on the agenda. I don't have nothing to do with no agenda. I love wrestling. I don't want to see nobody not do well, not be able to feed their families, so I don't partake in that shit. But
Listen,
yeah,
Hardy in
strange.
there. He in there. He's still working. Like you said, but feeding his family. That's all that matters right now. You know what I'm saying?
Moving on with some more news. Judgment Day will be on NXT moving forward.
Yep.
Pretty much just because of the ratings pop. Heavy ratings pop, you know what I'm saying, with their appearances from Finn Balor and Carmelo's interaction to Dominic Mysterio winning the North American title,
Clap it up for Dirty Dom. Clap it up for Dirty Dom.
ending Wesley's reign. Shout to Wesley as well too. Black Champions Matter. My man held it down for upteenth amount of days as the North American champion, one of the best North American champions probably since Adam Cole, Velveteen. You know what I'm saying? Like, my man did the same thing.
That's a name I haven't heard in a minute. Wow.
I miss
said the
Velveteen, yo.
My
I
man
miss
said the V
Velveteen
word.
Dream, man. Crazy. I'm always be the one to just make shit out of hand, but I miss Velveteen Dream, man.
Yeah,
He was
I saw
actually
you
like,
tweet about it the other day.
Was he found
sometime this
guilty on the
weekend.
stuff he was being accused of? Is that why he's no longer in
I think he just got a
our
bad
pictures?
batch. Truth, I think he got a bad batch, yo. I think that's what it is. He got a bad
What you mean
batch
by
in
that?
life. He
Oh,
got a
okay.
bad batch, and life didn't
got
deal
you.
him a good hand after that batch. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got you. Okay. He didn't
You know
recover.
what I'm saying?
He had a bad
Yeah.
hand of cards and he couldn't get back from it. I got
Yeah.
you.
You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
yep.
Slipped him a Mickey. Now he couldn't dribble. So it's like,
Hey, man.
Nah,
I wish
he
the
got
best to
dealt a
everybody,
card
but
and
shit.
then divided up some lines.
yeah. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, Judgment Day will be there for the
Yes.
foreseeable future. Wheeler Yuta
like it.
says AEW is 100% more than capable of doing an all women's pay per view.
I agree.
Cap? No cap.
No cap.
That's no cap. That's no
cap.
cap. They absolutely have all of the talent, all of the roster. If you look at a perfect comparison would be, what was it, Revolution was WWE's pay-per-view, or women at the Coliseum.
I think it's
The
Revolution,
talent
yeah.
is at worst comparable, but there are very, very talented people on that roster. It's just, as with anything else, the booking
Fam,
or lack thereof.
even if people want to say the show wouldn't do well, right? I say, I dare you to change Rampage on Friday nights to an all-women show.
Yep.
Every week, not just 1 week, every week. You could start off maybe with 1 week a month if you want to see how it runs, but I think every week you do it, and you give the women that entire hour. There's really no reason why you can't. It'll develop the entire. I think me and AO talked about this when we had our like little duo episode.
Yeah, and Hal was
Like,
saying
nah,
that. He put that
bro,
up on.
let them fucking
sure.
do. Hal was talking about it online. A bunch of people were bringing this up.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Like,
an
yo,
original
'cause
thought at this point, but
the shit, my one thing that I did not like about Dynamite last night was Tony just checked the box to hit the quota by putting that Britt Baker squash match on,
I did not like that. Like,
as
that was
opposed to
unnecessary.
like what was the point? You had the squash match. Like most squash matches lead to like at least an after match interview or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
That was just to check the box to say that I did it. Like that, and that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not gonna prioritize that shit, find somebody that will.
Hey,
That
he
was
also
the-
did put Chris Statlander in a cameo to promote that she's got a television title defense against what's her face on
yeah.
Rampage. So you know,
bro.
I mean, Willow
you-
won the Owen Hart Cup, right? Like she won that tournament.
Yeah.
She had, and I counted it. It could not have been more than 30 seconds, bro. I don't remember the exact number. I got a lot going on in my life. But it could not have been 30 seconds that they even let her celebrate the fact that she won that shit. She didn't even grab the belt. She grabbed the cup and walked off. Like, it was just like,
My only
Fair.
argument for that would be like
AEW
what I
is
think.
like
What I
they
think they
take me
did
back
there.
to TNA. They take me back to TNA with the way they just cut out of a segment. Like a segment will like be
Yeah.
on and
Because
embroil.
they're
Just
trying
cut
to
right.
they're
Outta here.
trying to
Go on.
like cram so much shit. That's the problem.
Too
Like
much.
they try to cram into like this thing that usually would be, let's let something breathe a little bit, and they're already on to 3 segments down the line. I think what happened with that was like they were literally, because they did the same thing with Ricky Starks. To be fair,
Yeah,
like they were just running
they
out of
did.
time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
He
like the
pushed-
whole
he
thing was like
pushed,
we're gonna bring
what'd he push?
both of them out at the top of the battle with the belts, whatever.
Damn, they put him on Battle of the Belts.
Because they ran out of time.
I know. Just like
Yeah, they ran out of time. But yeah, man,
which
like
wasn't a bad Battle of the Belts, by the way. Since we already going on a whole tangent, that was actually probably one of the better Battle of the Belts.
I think it was dope.
They could have swapped the
Wasn't
intro with the
terrible.
main event.
Yeah, no,
But-
for sure. That they definitely.
Lance
Still,
Archer definitely
again,
cooked.
no promo, no lead up. Nobody cared about it.
Yeah,
It
my
was just
problem
like,
with the
here's
battle of the belts has always been like there's never any drama about whether or not a title's gonna change hands. You know it ain't.
Yeah, but basically it's just a battle of the
They're gonna
belts.
catch us. The next one of these ones, they're gonna catch us
Please
one of these
do.
episodes. I know.
Please
I
do.
hope so too. I hope so
Please
too.
do.
Like the actual title change, please. So it's not just like a house show on television.
Here's something that's going to take us off topic. I don't know if this is anybody's topic tonight. I don't think it is.
Well, we didn't get into topics. We just running down the news. That's all.
All right. What do we think? What do we think's going to happen with these guys? Do we think that MJF and Adam Cole are going to take these titles off FTR? What's going on right now?
So should we just get right to our topic then? Fuck it.
Yeah,
Let's
might
make
as
it
well,
happen.
because that is
Isn't that
AO's.
doesn't AO
that's-
have a topic? as
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
Like,
something
It's in
similar.
the ballpark. Like let's just talk about MJF and Adam Cole. Period. Because my topic was
freestyle
about
it.
yeah, we could freestyle that shit. My topic was more along the lines of like who's turning first or whatever. But this whole thing, first of all, hell of a I love this shit. Is anybody for starters like? Is anybody here not a fan of the tag team or the way that they're presenting the shit right now? 'Cause
Absolutely
I
not.
love
That
it.
This is one
Oh, I
of the
loved
things
it.
that
I
we
loved it from the jump.
all in unison are like, nah, I'm rocking. I'm here.
Yeah.
I loved it from jump.
Yeah,
man.
I love like the little dance battle. Your man Daniel Garcia definitely hit the electric slide on a wrestling program on TBS, TNT, whatever. I was fucking with that.
Them boys finally hit the double clothesline.
Finally hit the double.
Got the craziest pop for that. I'm like,
Should they beat FTR?
I want them to.
I'd like to see it.
that
To
would
be
be
honest.
that would be dope to see. That would be different.
Because like I think like the most predictable thing is that FTR goes over because there's like you saw at the end of the match yesterday, just because Adam Cole had MJF's belt turned around, blah blah blah. I was like, yo, what's that about? So there's a little friction there. So it'd be mad predictable for everything to fall apart over the next week or two. Because I don't think the match ain't this Saturday. I think it's the following Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the
God.
following
Yeah.
Saturday. It's
So
the,
over the next 2
29th.
weeks, it'd be we can say that they're gonna fall apart, and by the time we get there's a miscommunication, blah blah blah, and then that lines up with the build for All In and All Out, which I would imagine they're building up to. So that might be what's happening, but I wouldn't mind seeing that shit. You know what I mean? A little run, and then it doesn't have to be a long run. I don't expect this to be a long tag team, but I like to see it. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Hot potato.
Why not? Like,
I'm with hot potato. Hot potato this shit, man. FTR just chilling in the wings anyways on Collision. Like, honestly, I'm totally on board
I
with
will say
MJF
this though. I
Cole.
gotta say this publicly. I was totally not. I didn't want to see FTR face the Bullet Club again. I'm like, yo, these guys. I want to see them fight somebody else. Collision's a brand new show. The match with CMFTR was great. Then they had the other match the following week that was a larger tag match. Now we got these guys in the third match together. I was like, come on, man, I really don't want to see these dudes fight each other again. There's got to be other people for them to fight, right? And then I was sadly mistaken. It was a really good 2 out of 3 falls
Nah,
match.
absolutely.
That was a great
Shit
match.
was
It was slam,
fantastic. And FTR are my guys. I never expect them to have a bad match. I'm just saying specifically, it's like if the Bulls played the Celtics every week. It's like
And
go
you
play somebody else.
also got motherfucking gin and juice. You
Nah,
can't
word.
beat him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jay White's finally getting into his own. Who would have thought that he was going to go from outstanding singles talent to actually a really good tag team hand?
And
Juice Robinson,
I
still the
love the
dog,
heel,
still the
like
man.
the maintaining of the heel persona as they had their arms stretched out to shake hands at the end, and they were just like, nah, fuck y'all, we're out. And they
Which,
left.
unfortunately makes me think this shit ain't over. And that can be the reason why FTR either win or lose on
Right.
Collision.
Right.
Okay.
You might have something there.
Could be.
No, man. The former champ don't lie, man. Come on. You know, the predictions. You know, I'll be on my
Sky,
shit.
Nah, like I think so. All right, so who do you think actually makes the turn? There will be a turn here.
Yeah.
Is it
for sure.
MJF like we think it's going to be, or do you think Adam Cole? I've seen a lot of people talk that Adam Cole could be the one to make the turn. So, like, which is more interesting? Which do you think is going to happen? Which do you want to see?
What do you think, Ron?
See, at first, when you posed the question, I was like, okay. At first, I'm thinking it's gonna be. I think it should be MJF because they had that whole thing last night where Adam Cole was holding his belt and looking at it, and he got a little pissed off. That's like the typical thing. But then I remembered in the past, I'm like, yo, Adam Cole is not a terrible heel, so I wouldn't mind him making a turn, and that would be different. The only thing is like, how is it going to work with MJF? Because MJF is a great heel as well. So
Let me ask my NXTologist real quick. Was Undisputed Era ever heel?
Yes, they were heel the entire time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Okay,
heel.
that's how
Yeah.
I have no clue. I wasn't
Yeah.
there.
But even prior to that, like him being in ROH, he was
He's a heel.
incredible. He was like
So,
a dope heel.
I'd say like
Let's
if,
say
if you
Kyle
if you break
O'Reilly's
it down to like 2/3 of Adam Cole's career is probably a heel.
What if Kyle O'Reilly is at least in good enough shape to be walking around, not fighting? Maybe he's just there, so they have that 3-man presence. Is it possible that Adam Cole turns and they're back together, all 3 of them, now that Roddy's here? Like,
I think Roddy is the
Is
biggest
the wild card?
is the wild card because you see like he's basically playing him and he's playing in his face right now. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden you buddying up with MJF and I can't even get a hello. So there's some tension there. It's just like what side does he actually fall on?
I just left Diamond Mine to come here. You know what I'm saying?
Son
I had a whole
Yeah.
NXT brand of myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Like,
their branding was fire though. I did like the logo, but whatever.
Man's over here
You know
talking
what?
about art.
I also like niggas
The
that
art
talk
was
about
dope.
that.
The art was better than the fashion, kid.
the art was all for the culture. The art. You know?
But,
ARRRT.
but as far as
All right,
Adam
leave
Cole,
my
I
Buffalo
wouldn't
people alone.
I wouldn't mind seeing Adam
716.
Cole being a heel. I think that would be different. It's just how they're gonna work it. But
I think they've got us booked. I think it really feels like they're going to be booked into a conundrum. If Adam Cole doesn't turn heel, he looks like the biggest idiot. Like he just looks like an idiot because it's
If
like
they
we all
play
throw
this
this
right, they could literally stretch this out and have some of the best television that ever happened.
And I'll give
That's
you
all I'm
that.
gonna say.
Turn this into the bloodline, damn near, and don't give us the breakup
I
anytime.
honestly thought that last night. It's really funny you said that. I thought it like as an actual thought. I'm like, could
Man, this is the only
be
thing.
anything like that? Could they milk this and make this be something like? Could they capture this as a moment? Is this
they
good
could
enough?
if
I just
they
kept
want.
This
asking
is
that.
the
because this is
only
hilarious. This is classic TV.
long-term grabs your attention and your emotion storyline that AEW seems to know how to like bring together right now. And that's why if they shoot this in the foot and end this storyline before All In or All Out, it's like, I guess you got us through the summer, but now what? Now what the fuck does Adam Cole go do? You know what I'm saying? He's not winning the title because CM Punk's right around the corner. And CM Punk is going to win the title. He's not like Adam Cole, CM Punk, like that. Where does that even come from? But
No, I think that they were planting seeds with that right around the Samoa Joe when Samoa Joe choked.
you right.
You know what I mean? They had that little weird interaction where they were both like looking over each other's shoulder at each other, talking about Punk and Adam Cole on Collision a couple weeks ago.
You
So
right. I remember that.
there's a couple little seeds here.
It's
There's
a
no
lot of crazy ways this storyline can go between maybe they're trolling us with Roddy and
Yeah.
Roddy's just going to get down. Kyle O'Reilly maybe comes back, and then you have at least a 3-man team against CMFTR as we go into the fall season and we get ready for Punk MJF. And then that could be the reason that Punk doesn't win is because Adam Cole screws him over. And that might be the one. That might be the pinnacle, no pun intended.
What if
Crazy predictions right now, but
what if
if we're talking long term, I just don't want to see this storyline end in the next 2 weeks. I'll tell you that. And I'm
Nah.
gonna leave it at that.
what if Roddy joins MJF and Adam Cole and they form a faction?
Right,
That
which is
that
to
could
go against that CMFTR.
yeah, that
That's where Roddy would almost
that could
be
be
like, you
fun.
know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna just join in. I can't beat him,
But
join
then
him.
who
Type
is
shit.
Roddy at that point? Is Roddy solo Sokoa? Like, you know what I mean? Just for comparison, like, what is he at that point? Because he's certainly not going to be a personality matched up against these two dudes.
I
right
think
now.
he's
Like,
the same. He's the same position he's always going to be in.
Scrappy,
Yeah,
scrappy fighter,
I think
Yeah.
he's just the guy
Lord of
standing
the
next to the
backbreaker,
guy. Like I don't,
Lord
I
of the
don't.
backbreaker.
Yeah, that's why. Like I think with Diamond Mine or whatever, like he was supposed to be the guy, I guess, for a while.
He's supposed to be their leader.
That's what I'm saying. He's supposed to be
Yeah,
the
like-
guy, but that's just not him. Like in real life,
Yeah.
I don't think you can really book him to be that guy. I think he's the person who's probably like in ring, amazing, an enforcer type of dude, but he's plays his
I
best
haven't
part
heard-
next to somebody else.
I haven't heard one pro wrestler driven or centered podcast that they didn't speak highly of him as a professional wrestler. So
Yeah, no, like
don't know.
in ring, he's phenomenal. But like as far as carrying a faction, especially with two personalities like MJF and Adam Cole, he's just gonna do their deeds. You know what I'm saying? I think he does their dirty work. I like this shit though. I love
Me too.
I love
me
the,
too.
the this is like the house show world tour that they're on right now. They're just doing
it's
like
entertaining as shit.
yeah, they're doing
funny.
fun shit. Period.
All the matches are fucking funny though.
Like think about how they got a double clothesline over. You know what I'm saying? We saw MJF with a tope suicida that got cheered louder than any other tope suicida you've ever seen in your life.
Yo, during that dance off, I was on Twitter checking what was going on the feed, and the most of what I was seeing was like, "What the fuck am I watching? What the fuck am I watching? What the
Yeah,
fuck is this? What
and
is
that
this?"
included me.
That type of yeah, actually Ron too, but that
Yeah,
type of engagement
I
is
was-
exactly what you want. Like you
Yeah.
really have your people engaged. They're like, "What is going on right now?" You
Right,
know,
and I meant that in like a solid way because I was super entertained because I'm like this is something I wasn't expecting.
I just knew it was all elite entertainment at that point, yo.
100%.
You want that wrestling shit? Go watch Collision on Saturdays. Because this is that sports entertainment shit that Chris Jericho was on commentary talking
Hour
I
about.
think
by
yo,
hour.
I think the best shit is to be able to do all of the above well, right? At the end of the day, the best cards, pro wrestling cards, are a variety show. You know what I'm saying? We can give you a little of this, we can give you a little of that, and the bottom line is if we can do all of it well, then we're doing our job. You know what I'm saying? Think about the polar opposite of a blood and guts match versus that tag team match. And if you write that shit down on paper, it's not supposed to be on the same card, but they both worked. You know what I mean? So we could do all the above. But yeah, man. That's my topic.
I like it.
Yes, sir.
Ronnie.
You got Ron.
All right, so this week I have the Judgment Day is here, but for how long? And I mean that in a solid way. And the reason I brought that up is because surprisingly, yeah, Dirty Dom Mysterio win the North American Championship, and you're now seeing the Judgment Day like just really dope right now. Like Dom just won the championship. Your boy Damian Priest is the Money in the Bank winner, and you got Rhea Ripley as the women's champion. So like they're like, I don't want to say are they the number one faction in WWE right now with what they got right now. It's like it's insane. So since I wasn't expecting Dom to win that title, I was like, yo, I was a little confused, but I was like, all right, I want to see the direction that they're gonna go in. So My question.
I want to know whose idea it was. That's all I want to know. I just want to know who called that shot because that's a dope ass left field. Wasn't even thinking about it.
Fam, when he took the pinfall on Monday, I was like, it's over for Wesley. It's over. You don't have a title match, a hyped title match, and then take a pinfall on a Raw main program show.
Right.
Like, I was like, it's over. And then lo and behold, when y'all were like, yo, it happened, I was like, I knew it. I fucking knew it, yo. Unbelievable.
I think
But I believe it.
with Dom, I think Dom is like probably the top, like one of the top heels, like right now, because this dude, heel or face, like this dude is getting the reaction that they needed for him to be like a heel or whatever. So I feel like they're trying to push this with him winning the North American Championship, and that's also going to piss more people off, especially in the position that he's in. And then I gotta give a salute to Wesley, and I had to look this up. He held the title for 267 days.
Yeah.
He's been on a win streak.
Applaud that man.
From October 22nd, 2022 to July 18th, 2023. And I did not realize that until I looked that up.
No, he's been champion for a minute, man. He's been North American champion for a minute. He's had a well-acclaimed reign. You know what I'm saying? I think next he's probably going to have to go to the world title. He's got to. You know what I'm saying? Long time coming for the boy. Breakout came through from the Rascals, which, crazy enough, have reunited Impact.
Right. And I thought it was a wrap for him after Homeboy, his partner, had left back.
A lot of people thought it was over for him, and then he just kept putting on some outstanding matches, and it's like, nah, Wesley's here to stay.
Yep.
Don't go to the main roster, though.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at that. So,
But topic.
Yeah. So the question I want to ask you guys is like, well, like I have like 2 or 3, but they're gonna.
This nigga got an array of questions now. That nigga say, yo,
I was
array of questions.
Well, I mean, pretty simple. Like after Dom has won this title, how long you think the Judgment Day is gonna go? Like, how would you book them? Like, are they gonna? You think they're gonna last until like Royal Rumble? Because I also looked this up too. I was like, yo, they started since April of 2022, starting with Edge, and I think Damian Priest came in like the night after. And I was like, I did not realize that they were running for that long.
I saw the post that said once you get rid of Edge, things get better, and they just put Christian in the fucking.
Oh my god!
They put Christian as the TNT champion, and then Dom as the North American champion, and said, "Look what happens when you get rid of Edge."
That's
Christian
insane,
for
man.
peeps.
So my question to you is: you think they're gonna last until Royal Rumble, or you think they're gonna like start dispersing after that? Or
Hard to tell. Like, I think for one, you definitely keep Rhea and Dom together, so that shouldn't go anywhere. I think the interesting thing is we already seen conflict between Finn and
that's the other thing too. Yeah.
and Damian Priest. Mm-hmm. If I was booking it, man, like I don't know. If I was booking it, I would have Finn probably by accident cost Damian his cash in.
Yeah.
Some kind of way. Like he would cash it in.
Yep.
Finn would make some kind of mistake, and I would boot Finn out of the group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keep it back at a 3. Maybe figure out somebody interesting to add on to. But even if you keep it at the 3, like a nice little feud right there between Damian and Finn would be fire. And then there's no reason why you should book Rhea and Dom to break up at all.
There you go, bro. That you just said it, bro. Nick Aldis in Judgment Day.
Oh my god.
Yow.
There you go.
Oh.
There you
Blame
go.
Boogie.
Yo.
There's something really fucking wrong with that guy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yow.
So it's just-
Yow. Yow. Yow.
So
Yow.
you put it in the universe, man. He's gonna show up.
You know what I mean?
Yo,
good.
Nick Aldis standing next to Dom and Rhea would be outrageous. And I'm here for it.
I mean, I feel like the Judgment Day, if I'm booking kayfabe only, they're just going to keep expanding. They're going to become the new NWO. JD McDonough's coming through. They're going to bring somebody else in. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
maybe he's the one that replaces Finn, though. I think Finn, at the end of the day, gets kicked out. I think he's popular enough that there was a well-done face turn, people back on his side tomorrow. So,
Fair.
like, McDonough and Balor had their little thing, you know what I mean,
But then it's like, But then it's like, where does Finn Balor even go from being the leader of Judgment Day to back to the same Finn Balor leather jacket demon shit that we know him to do?
Pretty
Like, I think
much
right now,
he jobs to the stars, man.
He could be the
nah.
5th member of the Ringside Club. He could join our
He,
podcast. That
I
would be
think
fine.
I think Finn is the next World Heavyweight Champion. To be honest with you, I think he's going to take the title
Finn
off.
beat Seth.
Yeah, I think Finn is going to
Finn
add it to the
beat
gold,
Seth.
yo. I think
Yo,
Finn
Chad,
adds gold.
can I tell you, there's a reason you have as many pay-per-view prediction championships as you do, and shouts out to me too. I'm gonna pat both of us on the back. I promise you, I had that exact same thought. I was like, yo, Finn is about to win this championship off of Seth
On some bullshit too.
on some bullshit, and Damien's either gonna cash in on Finn or some weird shit's about to go
like
down.
that.
But they're booking this shit. They're gonna book this shit the right way.
Gotta be long term.
WWE's literal track record right now is they're batting a fucking 1,000 right now, in my opinion. So
Some long-term storytelling, yeah,
a
definitely.
lot
So
going
it's
on.
like Bloodline is diluting, and if you look around, there is no other faction right now that can compete with Judgment Day. And now they're about to take over NXT. It's game over, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be here for a while. Rhea's
All right,
winning.
so here's a question: do they add a member before somebody gets kicked out? Does it become a 5 before it becomes a 3, or vice versa?
I say they add a female member before they add another male member. That's a hot take.
I think they kick. I think they kick Finn out, and then add another member. That's just me. 'Cause I think they're gonna like what you said. Like what you said. That's what I was about to say before. Like, Finn is gonna have a little. He's gonna get into it with Damian Priest again because they got into it before with the Money in the Bank thing. So I think Finn may cost the Money in the Bank contract. Something is gonna happen between them, and then they're not going to have it with Finn anymore, and he's going to get kicked out, and they're going to find somebody else. I think JD McDonough. I didn't even think about JD McDonough. I don't know where this guy is, but I think he will be a good addition. That would be something for him to do.
McDonough, Fiend and Lemon Pepper.
Judgment Day are taking over for the 222 with the 23. You know what I'm saying?
The what?
In the 2000s.
The what?
Yeah. It's 23. Judgment Day for the 23. They're gonna run this shit. I really don't see this shit changing. I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
They on a nice run, man. Like Dominic is doing the best work he's done. He's doing.
Well,
right
I mean,
now.
let's slow down and talk about how he almost broke Wesley's neck on Tuesday.
Yeah, that was wild.
How about that?
His-
how about
his-
tighten
his-
up, brother?
Here's also another thing too. Like as far as Dom has some good people around him coaching him as well. With his father as well.
sure.
I was
So
about
it's
to
like
say,
he's
man,
really
like I'm gonna be
improving.
real with you real quick. I'm not gonna give all the points to Dom Mysterio, yo. Let's just be real, right?
Right.
Like the only reason people go to Olive Garden is because of the breadsticks, the free breadsticks, the you know what I'm saying. So it's like Dom is getting a whole bunch of just breadstick cheers right now, like or the boos that are just happening because they're happening. He's not really doing nothing but showing up. So I can't give him. I mean, I could give him credit for what leads to those boos, but he's not actually doing much right now. So I think he just as much as we are riding that wave right now.
I think that's
And
the
I
smart thing, though.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. He shouldn't do anything to stop it. He shouldn't do anything to antagonize it either. I think they're doing the smartest thing they possibly could because the fans ultimately run the show anyway, as much as they don't want to admit it. So it's just, I think they're doing real good work. Ron, to answer your question, I don't think there's anything stopping it right now. And, the more I thought about it as I'm talking, I don't think that what I said was correct. There's no way they could add another female member to that group right now with Rhea being champion. So if they did add another member, all I know is they would have to be another dynamic personality because I don't see another person going to that faction and having to, take a back seat. Like, it would have to be somebody that's going to be already doing something or about to do something. I don't know.
If they were adding women, it would need to be a tag team because it can't be in the same division that Rhea's dominating. You know what I'm saying? And because they don't have a secondary title, it would.
And I
need
mean,
to be
the inner conflict thing is just going to be annoying too. Like if you overdo it, so it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what is someone going to beef with Rhea internally too? Like,
They're gonna stat pad the shit out of Rhea's reign, though. I'll tell you that much.
they
That
should.
shit. Yeah, I mean,
They
I'm not
chose
opposed
Roman.
to it.
Why can't they chose Rhea or choose
I'm not
Rhea? I
opposed
don't
to
see.
it. She
See a
she
reason.
deserves a
Trying to
run.
get flued out.
She deserves a run like this for a change. You know what I'm saying?
I say the Aussies deserve a run because for a while in WWE they were just getting thrown the bullshit just because they're Australian. So, shouts out to
It'd be
them.
like that.
Ozzy. Oi. All right, Bug, what you got?
You know what I mean? Well, I'm gonna let you, my friend, because you are the predictions champ, the heavyweight title holder. I'm going to let you pick the teams. But we're gonna debate, man, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna book Miro as a heel, who he's going to be fighting right now, who his next program would be with if he was a heel, and who his next program would be with if he was a face. So whatever team AO picks, he could choose also what their stance is, and then the other team does what they do.
Man, I debate a lot with this guy, but I'm going to pick Chad. We partnered up tonight, guy.
Respect.
What's up, King?
Let's go, Ron.
Yes, sir.
So
Nice.
what's your stance?
My stance, I'm just over here picking. What was the question?
So you got to book Miro's next program as a
Okay.
heel or a face. Which Miro do you pick? A heel Miro or a face Miro? And who is he gonna go
Let me
against?
think about who the champions are right now. I would absolutely book Miro as a monster heel. He needs to go after that international championship. I'm booking him as a heel. He is the man to beat Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is getting cheered right now, but you got to get a monster to take that title off of the best champion, in my opinion, this year. And that's Miro. Come back in, make a splash. He already had the TNT championship, and then he disappeared for a year, came back even angrier. There's no reason why that title shouldn't be just as prestigious. Even I think it's more prestigious now. It's way more prestigious. So in order to have his comeback really sealed off with some real fire behind it, he's the man to beat Orange Cassidy, international champ Miro.
Okay. Ron,
Piece
you
of
could
the
start
gods.
on our team. Who you booking him against as a face? So if he was going against the heel.
Well, before I start that, hey, you gotta play the instrumental again at the end. That shit was fire as hell.
That was bug.
Yeah, I
That's
made
both?
that shit just before the podcast. a
Oh,
little
that
earlier today.
okay. Yo, nah, you need to run that back. As far as booking him against a heel, I was thinking about this earlier. Miro, I know what's his whole his gimmick is like this. I guess like a spiritual thing or whatever it is.
Or
Chosen
like
by the
anti-spiritual. I'm not sure which one he is right now. It's like
It floats back and forth literally week to
Right.
week. It seems.
weekly, yeah.
Well,
One thing is sure, he talks about his hot wife all the time.
Yeah.
right. So here's the thing with him, with that spirituality, it can float between like heel or face. So
Yep.
in the case like this, I think his next opponent should be like the House of Black, because the House of Black, they're gonna kind of oppose this new spirituality. They're gonna say it's BS. I'm like, yo, you gotta stop it with this nonsense.
That's a
And
good
then-
call because he had something with them not too long ago before he came back. So
Right, exactly, and he can come like Miro. He can say like, you know, whatever his stuff is, his spiel is like every week or whatever. And then House of Black is gonna come through. It's like, nah, this is BS. Like, you gotta stop it. And and he has the odds against him. It's going to be 3-on-1, and Miro's going to look even. He's going to look even greater because he's going to come out there, say his stuff, and he's going to get beat down like every time until somebody comes in and helps.
Take the
So-
House of Black down one by one.
Right. And that can happen. You know what I'm
I
saying?
respect it.
Like, you have the stronger, like, you be strong enough where it's like, all right, I'm fed up with this. Like, you're not going to take me down. My shit is going to rise above all y'all, and I'm going to hit y'all, and I'm going to beat y'all one by one. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck with that. I'd watch that.
I like it. What you got, Chad?
Pretty much gonna rock with AO's point of Pockets and Miro. They've only faced each other one time, and that was in November 3rd edition of Dynamite for the World Title Eliminator Tournament.
And I
In
think
which-
you'd agree too. That's only if they're 100% changing the title, like the title's changing hands, right? Because there's no way Miro's losing. Do we all agree that there's no way Miro's losing to Orange Cassidy?
I mean,
That would
you
completely
never
bury
know.
Miro.
You never know because Right now, Miro killed Orange Cassidy the last time they faced each other, so this might be the redemption song. So if they did face
Right.
each other again, Pockets could actually beat him because he's considerably got one of the best title reigns in all of wrestling right now. And they
Like
are
to me,
stat padding like a
Miro's
motherfucker with
like
Orange Cassidy.
Miro's like if you see not a pocket pit bull, but if you see one of them like bullies, like the real stacked bullies that are just walking down the street, and there just happens to be like one of them little cute dogs that you could fit in like the palm of your hand walking in front of them. Like to me, it just there's no way that you could ever book that guy to lose unless they're going against a cerebral assassin, a ring general. Like I don't know how Miro loses anything, to be honest with you. Like it's just my
He
personal
shouldn't.
opinion.
He
There
shouldn't.
really is nowhere else for him to go, to be honest. Like
He's
if
built
he's not,
like Beast from X-Men in real life. Like that's what he looks like. That's not even
that's
fucking
Miro's
normal, yo.
problem in AEW is where do you even go with Miro? Because the world title picture is so busy. He doesn't have a tag team partner, and I really hope Kip Sabian stays the fuck away.
Jesus, please. Yes.
We've already seen a TNT title run, so him and Luchasaurus again. It's like, eh. The international title really is the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna have to go in a blood feud with somebody that literally is gonna come out of nowhere.
I
Yeah.
listen. I'll just
That's
say
it.
this.
That's all Miro can do.
I think if Orange Cassidy is going to lose this title soon, want to be a better opponent other than
But Miro is
Miro.
is he being portrayed as a babyface right now though?
That's what I'm saying with
I
this
don't.
weird week to week God, devil on my shoulder or angel on my shoulder thing. I don't know what he's got going on.
Right.
That's
The
why I thought this was
problem
a cool
is
topic.
like
It's hard to call.
there's no real like actual character direction in that sense for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nothing's really changed about him. You know what I mean? When he came out, everybody was happy to see him, obviously, because we haven't seen him in a while, so he got cheered. And then from there, there's been the promos in the back where it's not really directed at anybody or in any particular direction other than I'm giving up my God and my wife and I'm focused on whatever I'm focused on. And then he didn't show up the next week. So
Word.
actually, like, are we supposed to cheer for him or are we not? I don't think they've really ironed that out yet, or at least presented that to us yet. So that's
I
still
will
in the air.
say, if we were to, freeze this, what I'm about to present in time, and not say it in the timeline of the right now for AEW, as a babyface going against a heel, I'd like to see him go against a heel Hobbs, because I think he would make him way better. I think he would make Hobbs better in the ring. He would make him a better wrestler, better psychological, all around. Like he would be able to improve his game as a big man in AEW. So I would like to see that happen. But I think if we're talking about right now, if someone didn't have a program who's a heel against Miro, and this is probably why it's so difficult for Tony Khan to do the same thing. I'm bringing this up because we literally have a fucking roster of whoever the fuck we want, right? And if I was on your guys' side, I would 1,000% agree with who you picked, and I am on Ron's side, and I already do agree with who he picked. I'm just trying to exhaust all possibilities and see if there's another heel that would be a formidable opponent for him besides Luchasaurus, like you said.
That powerhouse Hobbs joint is interesting. I would still book him as the heel though, right? I would book it like this. Powerhouse Miro beats Cassidy as the heel for the title. And then he goes on a run with that title, dominant, beating up your favorite baby faces. In the meantime, Hobbs is finally getting rid of the QTV guys. Nobody likes QTV. So he's running through them. You see Johnny TV just came in. He's running through them. Yeah. So little by little, like people are loving the fact that he's getting rid of them and they're cheering for him. So you have a face Hobbs at some point built up to fight a heel Miro. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then if you want to talk about putting somebody over, that could be like a nice little pay-per-view build. You know what I mean? And what better way to coordinate your next guy up like Hobbs than to beat a Miro? You know?
Right.
That could work.
Hey, I think it's all insightful. I really don't have anybody I could think of right now, although just for the hell of it, nah, that's a bad take. I'm not even going to say that. I was going to say, if he was in a program with CM Punk, because he is on Collision, I mean, who else is he going to be fighting? That would be kind of interesting to see whichever side of the coin he would be on, because I think Punk is either a heel or a face, depending on the city he's in. It depends on what the crowd says. He's still doing what he does. He plays the favorites. He does what he's going to do. But I think the crowds are really determining which side of the fence CM Punk is on, where they go. So who knows?
Well, let's see what happens. Speaking of Punk, with your man Ricky.
Yeah. What you got, Chad?
Man. Is it my topic or is it?
Yeah, it's your topic.
Yeah, it's your topic.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yes, sir.
Well, before we get to that, let me get to our weekly prepped and cooked.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes, sir.
You guys know I do a prepped and cooked every week. It's prepping the wrestlers of the week that are going to be having a tumultuous season, and then the cooked for the week is the wrestlers who have just been put on the complete sizzle. Them niggas is prepped for me is the ghost of Gigi Dolan.
Damn.
You don't really see her much. You don't really hear from her much. When she does appear, she doesn't win. It's crazy
I'm
how
a fan, though. I am a fan.
I am a fan too. She was slated as one of the biggest women breakout stars to come from, the Mandy Rose Toxic Attraction. They figured, she's going to be next up.
Mm-hmm.
Blood feuds with JC Jane and all that, and she's just taking L's on fucking random shows. She doesn't really have a character. She's a gypsy, but nobody really can sink their teeth into her character yet. It's unfortunate because I think I really like Gigi Dolan as the single nigga of the pod. She's got the yams and she knows how to use them. I just, you know what I'm saying? I just wish that, there was better off, for Gigi Dolan in the future. But I just don't think right now. It's crazy that Tiffany Stratton came in out of nowhere and just like,
And just
you know what I'm saying?
right past her.
Right past her. Like she should have been the next up to be the women's champion. But, she's prepped for this week. Cook this week. Oh, fellas, y'all agree, disagree? Anyone?
No, I mean I feel bad, but I don't have a better person that I could bring up that would surpass, I guess, that. Don't know.
I actually agree. I felt like she was kind of prepped after Mandy Rose left, and it's not like she was bad, but I felt like she's been trying to find her footing.
Yes, she's trying to find a character.
Like since then, and it kind of exposed
Yeah.
like how she is right now. So it's like I feel like she's been doing whatever she can to stay out the frying pan, and whatever she's been doing is not terrible. But
Gigi Dolan is the spinning of the wheels. When they say spinning the wheels, Gigi Dolan is spinning the wheels.
Like
she is business.
right word. And so it's like she's not terrible, but it's like I'm not connecting. Like it's not it for me. But that's just me. It is what it is. Hopefully.
Speaking of Mandy Rose, what do you think would happen if Mandy Rose came back and she was in AEW and just started joining the Outcasts or some shit?
Awkward. Hated it.
That would be weird for you?
Mad over. It's just like, what? Come on, man. Now we're just doing too much, yo.
I don't know. It's been a while since AEW has any kind of announcements as far as high profile.
Yo, I love it. Shh, come on, bro. Don't say that shit out
real.
loud.
I think something's gonna pop. There's gonna be
Next
people that are gonna
week,
show
Tony
up.
Khan major announcement, biggest announcement ever in the history of the entire existence of AEW. I don't want to hear that shit right now, man.
Did he say it again?
No, but because you said it out loud, the nigga might pop up next week and say he's got a major announcement. That's going to be the biggest announcement we've ever heard in the entire history of TNT and Warner and all of them. I know, and that's why we haven't heard it lately, and I'm very thankful for it. My cooked for this week, Shinsuke Nakamura, who can't buy a win to save a fucking life. Can't get a win, can't get a feud, can't get anything. He's tired of people being in his business. And then it's kind of like, who cares, Shinsuke? You're not going to win anyways. So he's cooked for this week and probably for the foreseeable future. It's unfortunate, but that's where Shinsuke Nakamura lies right now with this week's wrestling schedule. Fellas, agree, disagree on Shinsuke?
Yeah, I have some honorable mentions I guess I could bring up and ask if you agree.
Mm-hmm.
How about Swerve, Keith Lee?
Are more cooked this week than Shinsuke?
No, I'm just wondering, like, what? Because I don't see anything going on for them. Jade's probably on vacation. We don't know when Jade's ever coming back, so we can't really get her
Man,
into
Chris
consideration
Statlander is having one of the worst title reigns I think
in the history.
anyone doesn't want. Everyone wants to dick ride Chris Statlander, and I'm gonna just keep it 100. Like, yo, honestly, y'all are better off getting the title to fucking Soraya. Like
Anybody else could have it. They could have
anybody
given it
else
to
could have
Ruby
the title
Soho,
to Chris
somebody
Statlander.
else.
Here is the problem. This
Here we go,
happens
Ayo.
every
Let's
new
go.
title. Every time there's a new champion in the women's division, it's the same conversation. It's the same
you're
thing. Everybody wins the title, and then it's like,
That's
oh,
hot potato.
I'm glad they got it off of such and such. And then 3 weeks later, yo, this is the worst reign ever. And
Yo,
then the next feud, I'm glad they took it off of her, and then it's whack. It's not them. It's the booking. Every
But
time.
it's not 3
AEW
weeks.
has the worst women's book division in wrestling because they don't give them more than a half an hour a week over 3 shows.
Nah, word.
It doesn't matter who holds any of the title.
Yeah.
Jade still had people wanting to keep that title on her. Jade could have had that title for another 60 wins, and I don't think niggas would have been in any of an uproar. Niggas would have just been like, well, hopefully the competition just gets
Not
better.
even, because on this show, that was a conversation about, it's time she needs to, the problem, again, is always, it's not the talent whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? That's why there needs to be, like Book was mentioning earlier, like an hour devoted to them. If you ain't going to do it in the midst of what you're doing on Collision and Dynamite, throw it on Rampage. It needs to be all women, and it needs to be actual stories and feuds and angles and promos and matches that people give a fuck about instead of squash matches. So it ain't Chris Statlander. It's the fact that once she won the championship, then it's like, all right, we had that little thing with Taya Valkyrie, and then what? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? The best booked woman right now is Athena, and she's on ROH.
I would
right?
say the best book one is probably Tony Storm, honestly.
And Willow's definitely
And
taking
Willow.
the belt from her.
Tony and
too.
Willow,
Yeah, Willow
right?
too,
That is
yeah.
probably-
And Athena. And Athena.
Yeah.
But Athena
Athena-
is like, who? If you're not checking for Athena, you won't even know.
But that's not on ROH. That's on you if you're not watching, right? But as
Word.
far as like best booked, Athena is the best booked. But again, like, do that. Take some of that energy and put it on TV when we're watching, or don't just give me like a token match so you could check a box off, right? If you're gonna tell me that you don't give a fuck, I'd rather you not show me. I'd rather you not show me that shit that you don't give a fuck about. Give me shit that you care about, and then next week let's get back to something that you felt you had time to book. But nah, like that, So anyway, that's my 2 cents. The shit happen. The bottom line is it's a cycle. You're gonna say, yo, we gotta take the title off of such and such. They whack, and then the title goes on somebody new, and then they're whack. So if it's
To be
not,
honest, I don't think that I can't say that about everybody. Not everybody needs a title taken off them. Don't take the title off Tony Storm right now. Let her have the greatest fucking reign right now because she deserves it.
no,
Keep
but
it on
is she,
Tony
but
Storm.
but is Tony Storm having a good reign right now?
I would think it's like it's as good as it's gonna get for now.
That's my point. That's my point.
But it's still more than Chris Statlander.
We're settling for whatever we could get because there ain't really nothing going on.
It's still more than Chris
Listen, man,
Statlander.
Thunder Rosa comes back. That title's going right back around her waist. You could think not,
Oh,
but
God.
I'm
And
pretty sure that's about to happen.
then from that pay-per-view cycle to the next, we're gonna get back here on this show and be like, yo,
And
they gotta
complain
get
about
that
it.
shit off of Thunder Rosa.
Yep.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa's causing mad drama in the locker room, man. We got to
Nah,
get
you're
out
right.
of here.
You're right.
But I'm gonna go ahead and give it my topic. Oh
Let's do
yeah,
it.
the finale, ladies and gentlemen. Why should I, as one of the more non-common New Japan Pro Wrestling fanatics here,
Been waiting for
Care.
this shit all day.
care about their inclusion in my American wrestling? The reactions to some of these old guys is kind of just blowing mine. Because it's like, yo, they're moving like shit in this ring. And people are just like, yo, they're amazing from 20 years ago. Well, it's not 20 years ago. And they're mixing this with the new shit. And the new shit mixed with the old shit don't really hit. Because when I watch Forbidden Door back, I'm like, I could have really did without the CM Punk match. But you had to fill it in. Sonata was good. But Jungle Boy and Sonata? Nah, I'm good. Kota Ibushi? Yes. That was great of a debut. The pop was amazing. People were like, yo, he's bloated. Or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All I can go off of is the shit I kind of watched, a little bit of the Golden Lovers and my New Japan little 2018-19 run. That's about as far as I could say, like, all right, I know what's going on there. But at the same time, I'm not the only person that is kind of like, Two of my homies, for instance, I was just talking to them about the shit last night. Completely out the blue, not AEW guys. They're WWE guys with slight AEW. Who the fuck is Kota Ibushi, and why am I supposed to care about this guy included in this blood and guts match that I know most of these niggas in, but I don't know Kota Ibushi? And then it's like, you look at the Nick Wayne package from last week that everybody's raving about. It's like, yo, this is the best shit ever. Like, yo, this is how you introduce somebody. And it's like, damn, you're right. That is kind of how you introduce motherfuckers in AEW. With this extensive video package to really make you care. He's coming and stare at the screen didn't make niggas go, yo, I'm excited to see Kota Ibushi. But because you're an AEW fan, you're just supposed to automatically know, yo, Kota Ibushi's that nigga. But maybe I don't know he's that nigga. So I got to do my own research to find out if he is. Nah, like, I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm here for the product right now. This is where I'm at with it. Give me the Nick Wayne video package for everybody that comes in. Pause. Like, everybody that comes to AEW, I want that Nick Wayne video package, that extensive video package. Japan, Australia, I don't care what country you come from. I want an extensive video package showing me why I should care about you and not me having to go run back to YouTube to see highlights of your matches from a G1 Climax 5 years ago. I don't want to see that with AEW wrestling when it comes to the New Japan crossover. And that's just my shit right now. Trying to get me to just be loyal to the soil with these Japanese wrestlers coming over here and, you know what I'm saying? Invading, doing what they do. Whether they're all elite or it's a crossover, I ain't saying I watch New Japan, but I go out of my way to watch New Japan. I can't just say I naturally watch New Japan.
And I might even one up you too, bro. I won't even just call it New Japan people, right? What's the backstory of the Bullet Club? What new AEW fan that doesn't know anything? Let's leave it all right where we're at. We're in the moment right now, like you said. Who knows who the Bullet Club is? So it's like, even people like Jay White and Juice Robinson, how do you expect them to get over with the new fans without you showing a backstory so we know who they are, where they came from? There needs to be a little bit more done to develop these people. So I think this is a good topic.
They said this was one of the biggest signings, the biggest free agents, hottest free agents. And I'm going back.
We're there. They ran out. That was it.
Hottest free agent. And it's just like, FTR probably got a bigger pop. Then it's like,
FTR had a bigger pop that night, no doubt.
And it's like, yo, granted, I'm familiar with Jay White. I know what's going on, but not everyone in the building in common ass Hicksville, Long Island knows about what's going on with Jay White and the fucking Bullet Club. You know what I'm saying? So let the debates begin. Ayo.
Bruh, I don't. Why is AEW for everybody? It's not. I don't know why y'all think just because it's just on TNT and TBS that this shit is pop music. It's not. It's never been. This shit just has a budget.
Yeah, they cater to their fan base.
This shit is not like fam.
I knew you. I just knew it.
Warner, listen, dog.
The
one thing I will give you is like the Nick Wayne thing, for instance. Yeah, like I do wish that a little bit more of like a little video or an intro for different people would be done. But again, Warner Brothers Discovery, who cuts those big ass checks, when they put their press release out, they said that we are catering to niche pro wrestling fans. So for your homies that was watching that said they're WWE fans and may watch some AEW, the point is this shit is not for them. So if you happen to catch it, you catch it. If you don't, watch WWE. WWE is very self-contained. That's why it's called the WWE Universe. So that's why when people come in, their names are changed. We don't care about what you did in New Japan unless you are like the top of the top. But other than that,
Shinsuke Nakamura,
great.
And even still, some people didn't even know Shinsuke Nakamura.
You're right. That's also WWE. AEW, on the other hand, is part of the pro wrestling universe, which is going to bring in people from all different federations and incorporate the actual history of that federation into their shit. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. That's what AEW is. And you can't expect that shit to be anything other than that. They're not catering to pop wrestling fans. They're not catering to sports entertainment fans. They are catering to people that are wild nerds about this shit.
And that's okay for them to do. But I just want them to just give me a reason to care. Yeah, why the fuck do I care about him?
Yeah, even if it wasn't catering to, if they just like for instance, right?
And again, yo, you're not wrong. I will say, like, yeah, it'd be dope if you're gonna tell some kind of story. to tell a little bit of plant the seeds and give an intro. But again, a lot of the people that you're talking about, they're bringing in, for instance, Nick Wayne is different because he's a rookie. He's 18 years old, right? They're looking at when AJ Styles got introduced in WWE and he was still AJ Styles, they were betting that name had some kind of value to people who knew who AJ Styles was.
Right.
Why is it any different to people who had Kota Ibushi's name has value? So we're not going to change Kota Ibushi because he came in here. There was no video package whatsoever for AJ Styles when he came out at the Royal Rumble. And the only reason that nobody shat on that is because he got cheered that night.
And because it's AJ fucking Styles.
What does that mean? If you didn't watch Impact, how do you know who AJ Styles is? If you ain't watched New Japan or ROH, how do you know who AJ Styles
Because
is?
AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers in the world at that point.
So then your
You can't-
argument holds up to the same niggas that are watching mad New Japan and they're going to say the same thing. You know what I didn't watch? Any TNA. I didn't know who AJ Styles was until I saw him in New Japan.
AJ Styles
That's
is
fair.
one of the best American wrestlers, point blank, even
Because
before
you
God.
watched TNA.
Yo,
You knew
he
AJ
was-
Styles before he grew the beard out and all of that and grew his hair out. I didn't.
Yo, everybody knew who AJ Styles. Like, I'm still surprised you. Like, there's no way you're cab about you didn't know who AJ Styles was.
I
bro.
had no clue who
That's
AJ Styles
gotta be
was.
cab, bro.
I
AJ has
didn't
been
see
around.
AJ Styles until New Japan and Ring of Honor.
Actually,
So you didn't see him until 20. He's been in Ring of Honor since 2002. He was in the first Ring of Honor
No,
show.
not the first run. I'm talking about the second run after he did the Aces and 8 shit and he already
You're
had the
talking about
beard.
Bullet Club. You're talking about Bullet Club, AJ.
Yeah, I didn't see him until then. I had no clue who AJ
Yeah.
Styles was
no
until then.
lie, I'm in the
This
same.
is Joshi. This is Joshi Ayo
Yeah,
speaking right now.
no,
Of course
I'm
you
in-
saw Bullet Club, AJ. Of course
Dude,
you
I'm
did.
in the same boat. Like I didn't know about AJ Styles.
So
until
that's
he
my
went to New
point.
Japan.
That right
be
there,
honest.
that this is a sample size of me making your point for you. It's the same thing. If you didn't know who AJ Styles was and he just pops up at the Royal Rumble and he gets cheered, but you don't have any idea who he is, you're gonna get on your podcast and then say, "I wish they would have da-da-da-da-da." But you who were tapped into TNA says he's one of the best and you gotta fuck with him because he's one of the best. What's the difference between somebody who's gonna rep for Kota Ibushi the same way? Same argument.
Kota Ibushi, they're on another continent.
So what? You just aren't tapped into New Japan the way you were tapped into TNA. It's the same argument, bro. That means zero. So then when his music hit yesterday and mad people cheered for him, that's the same cheers that was given to AJ Styles before because people knew who he was and they were tapped in. You just weren't tapped in, or the same
But-
people that are going to make that argument weren't tapped in. Language
an
means nothing.
affiliation.
The language means nothing. The continent means nothing. The federation means nothing. Whether you are tapped in or not is all that matters. And if
I
you
guarantee
aren't,
you,
if you and here's the opportunity, right? If you weren't tapped into whoever, then you give it a shot and let them do their thing. And then if they impress you, they just made a new fan. That's all this shit is. This shit is not WWE Universe where we're building everybody from zero.
If Kota Ibushi didn't come in with Kenny Omega, I don't think this would have been the same reaction.
Because that's his story. That's his background. Golden Lovers and the Golden Elite and all of that shit is the reason why Kenny Omega brought him in the first place. So if you want to talk about storytelling, that's the fucking story.
And when it comes to the rest of the other guys, why the fuck do I care about them? Why am I supposed to care about
You
Kojima?
aren't. If, look, here's the thing. My answer to your question is you're not if you don't. Don't care. Fuck with the shit that you do and don't care about the shit that you don't. But don't fault somebody who's wild nerdy about this shit that watches all of that and can tell you stats and blah, blah, blah about all of the above. If they're telling you, nah, this is one of the best I ever seen, you just got to rock with it because that's what AEW does. They ain't catering to anything casual. Just because they're on TNT and TBS does not mean that they're doing the same thing or anything similar, anything close to what WWE does. This is what WCW used to do, by the way. They used to bring in people from wherever the fuck, and if you knew who they were, they ain't get no video package all the time. They used to bring people in
Yeah, this was
from
94. It's 96.
What
This
does
is
that
a
mean?
different time. You gotta introduce the audience. The common fan, the kids at home want to know who these. There are 8-year-olds who don't know what's going on. So you
So
figure
what?
you
And
should
then you'll
make
see,
it
and then that 8-year-old is
explain.
gonna see some. Everybody sees something in somebody for the first time. So that 8-year-old is gonna see this person. Well, I don't know who he is. I don't know his name. And then he does something cool, and then I'm a fan. It ain't that. This is not difficult whatsoever.
I just feel like when it comes to these New Japan guys, it's a tough crossover for me, man. Because even the Latinos, the Triple A's, like I hate to sound like MAGA law right now with my wrestling, but it's like,
Oh
yo,
man.
Oh, jeez.
The bottom line is if you're tapped in, you're tapped in, and if you're not, you're not. And this is all I ask with people to do. All I ask, first of all, I am no New Japan expert. I am no AAA expert. I'm none of that. I just happen to watch a little bit of shit, and if I know some shit about some shit, then I'll say something. All I ask is do not judge every federation through the same lens because they are all not trying to do the same thing. And
oh,
with
they definitely don't. Because none
right.
of the AAA niggas wrestle like the New Japan niggas.
So
I'll tell you
all I'm
that much.
saying
Yeah,
is
it's
if you're
very
talking
apparent.
about why AEW is and isn't and when it comes to other people from other federations, do not look at it through the same lens as what you think they should be doing based on what WWE does. Because they are catering to pro wrestling nerds.
Yeah.
That's
And I
it.
think ever since I figured that out, I've been cool with it. Like because I've been very very vocal too because there's a lot about AEW I like and there's a lot about AEW I don't understand. And the stuff about AEW I don't understand, I'm learning isn't because it's not
It's
that
not even for you to
that
understand.
yeah, it's like not meant for me. So it's like the reason why that's upsetting is because it's like I want to care, you know what I mean? So it's like that. I
Yeah,
guess that's the other
that's
part of
where
it
the
where
homies was coming
I'm not
from. Yeah,
I'm not saying that, and I think AO's actually agreeing with us on that. That's why he said with the Nick Wayne thing, like I do agree that like someone should have some kind of at least a little package so that you could bring people up to speed. So it's almost like even if you're not a fluid watcher of the show, you're watching it all the time. If you were to pick up the like The Wire, or if you were to pick up Breaking Bad or any of these shows, they do like a little recap in the beginning of whatever episode you're on so you could see what happened the last show and you could be brought up to speed. I think that's the idea where it's just like bring me up to speed. Like I don't need you to cater to me. I don't need you to slow everything down and stop it for me. But even if it was something that you put like on social media afterwards, you put a little package up there that said, "All right, this is who Kota Ibushi is for all y'all who have no fucking clue." And then we get to tap in and see who he is. Okay, now I get why this matters. You maybe show highlights of him fighting Kenny before, or
Sure.
them fighting in a group, little things like that. But again, I
Yeah,
do
look,
think
I'm not saying that
yeah.
they shouldn't do that. It would be
Yeah.
dope. I'm just saying that
But I don't fault anybody. I think
right.
it just is what it is.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying like a lot of these grade A name guys from outside, it's expected that the majority of the core fan base already knows who that person is.
Right,
And
like
that's
this
why
isn't algebra 2, this is calculus. If you're not into
1000%.
calculus, then get the fuck out. is
One
basically
thousand
what they're saying.
percent.
Yeah.
I look at it like the Marvel universe, for instance, right? If you didn't watch every Marvel joint and you just watch whatever the newest movie is, but you didn't see the last two, that's not on Marvel to tell you that story. You either
100%,
saw it or
I
you
got you.
didn't, because there's gonna be little references to something that happened in the last movie that if you didn't see, you didn't see it. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Like,
I really would just love it if they would limit the old niggas from Japan. That's all. I'll give you that. I'll give you your statements, man. But just cut the Kojimas, the Ishis.
Well,
They're not doing anything for me.
I'll even add something else, right? Like just to broaden the spectrum. Tony Khan is so all in on this, no pun intended, that he even spent all that money for that Europe song for Bryan Danielson to have his old New Japan music, that Final Countdown shit, for one night, right? Something like $3 million. I heard something. It was a large number, right? For one night to play that song. So for me, as a huge Bryan Danielson fan, I made art for this guy with Hal. I have his signature around here somewhere, like on some comic book cover shit I did. I literally love Bryan Danielson. I had no fucking clue he ever had different music. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't tapped in, so it's like it didn't bother me at all. I enjoyed the match still. Everything was cool because it's Bryan Danielson and I know who he is. And I think maybe that's what Chad's using this argument for right now, because it's hard for us to see AJ Styles as the old AJ Styles in that same lens. You could try to transport yourself back to that time and say, this is how I felt, this is what I thought. But now you see AJ Styles as the AJ we know now. And the same thing with Bryan Danielson. We might not have been tapped into him from New Japan and what he did all those years ago and shit like that, but we're tapped into him now, and most recently in the Yes movement and all this stuff and what he's doing with AEW now. So I think it's like, I don't want to say recency bias, but almost kind of that, where it's like these are your you're superheroes. These are people that, they're right here, right now. You're not really knowing them from what was going on before. So in Chad's argument, he's just like, I want to know why Ibushi is somebody's superhero. Like, that's really, I think that's where what
Sure,
he's
but
getting
yo,
at,
you know
what
what?
I mean?
When I saw AJ Styles, in Ring of Honor and New Japan, and then when he went to WWE, what I did, me personally, was then go back and check some of the TNA shit that I never saw.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you're like, yo, I like this dude, or even if I dislike this dude, I'm curious about who he is and why he's important.
Right.
I'm not saying that it is your responsibility as a fan to go back and Google and do all of that shit, but
Right.
I also Google everything all day if I'm curious about that shit.
Of course. Yeah, no, I hear you. Chad,
My-
just out of curiosity, was Ibushi that same guy that was at that show that we were at in Long Island?
No, Ibushi's never been in AEW. This is his first
So who
time.
was the guy
First
that
time.
came out in Long Island? Do we remember?
Takeshita.
No. Nope.
Commander?
No, it was somebody else. It was a New Japan dude, and the fans lost their mind. I think it was during a Ring of Honor segment.
Oh, Katsuyori Shibata.
You're talking about Shibata.
Shibata.
Talking
Yep.
about Shibata.
Shibata.
My boy, my bread. My
He's
bread.
still
Right.
he's still the what
Pure
you call it?
champion.
Pure champ. Yeah,
Another
he's
guy who it's like, why am I supposed to care about Shibata? Because he's got a brain injury and he just came back? Oh, okay. Well, thanks for telling us that now. Good way to let me know that later into the fucking thing.
And again, like, this shit ain't for you then.
It's like,
shit
thanks,
ain't for
guys.
you.
Thanks for finally letting me know that, oh, that's why I should care about Shibata.
This shit
Oh,
ain't
okay.
for you. Yo, you notice how I was mad quiet when you was talking about Gigi Dolan and NXT? It's because I don't watch. So I don't have an opinion. If you don't know who this person is, then you can't have an opinion on it.
I respect
But
that.
I'm seeing what's going on now. And I've been tapped in over the last course of the couple years.
Look,
and
I'll give you like, yo, if I just saw this person and I'm not impressed, cool. That's your opinion. Like, if you're not a fan of Ishii, great. If you're not a fan of Shibata, cool. If you're not a fan of homie last night, Kota Ibushi, if you didn't think his performance was up to par, cool.
It's more of the
Two different arguments.
younger. It's more the younger guys because it's just like, even when I think about Forbidden Door, it's like, yo, they rely on so much of the old Japanese guys and their style sucks right now. So it's like, yo, bring in just more Okada, Sonata, Ibushi, less Ishii, less of the old guys, more
gotta relax.
Okada. That's it. That's
But
it.
listen,
More Okada.
This is a
less,
full circle
less
moment.
Ishii.
Adult ADHD, it's horrible. You should get medicine. I don't have it, and it's great. I just smoke weed. But Pac would be a great opponent for Miro, too. Sorry, it just was a thought.
Word.
I thought you was about to get into a New Japan. Like, yo, Pac actually should be the New Japan, right?
Yeah, no. He was in the match, though, so that's what,
Oh, man. I'm New
That was the
Japan
fucking
out.
outro survey. Just get us the fuck out of
I'm
here,
New
Chad,
Japan
please.
out, man. New Japan out, fellas.
busy.
Outro survey.
I'm busy ducking.
I'm about to do Joel Ortiz the fitted right now, man, at the outro survey.
All right, before we get out of here, once again, hit the ringsideclub.com. Now, the outro survey so we can all go to bed
Please.
is as follows. Brian Pillman Jr., he is no longer with AEW, so he signs up where? NXT, of course. That's simple.
Yeah, I say NXT. I have my reasons. I don't know if you want me to say my reasons, but
I mean, if you want me to give a real...
They want that
real
Pillman
answer.
equity.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
I wasn't gonna. Yeah, that could be it too. But I was gonna go in the ways where it's like, all right, your father worked there before. I know there were some guys who are still there who work with his pops. Pillman can go there and get some knowledge. You know what I'm saying, and just build up from there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Try to work up from there. Get a new gimmick. Do something. You know what I'm saying? Get some work under the learning tree of some guys that's there. NXT will be a good place.
My personal opinion is he's just going to keep working the indies and not do nothing else. I think that I just personally feel like, not that there's nothing that can be done with him. I'm sure there could be, but I don't know that any company would take a chance like they would on, like, say, a Cody Rhodes doing a story as a generational talent like they would with him. So I'm gonna say he keeps doing the indie. I hope he does well. I wish him well. I don't mean that any shame or slight at all. I just personally don't see him really being anywhere else besides Indies or, Impact, HOG, gang.
Brian Pillman to the National Wrestling Alliance to defeat Tyrus to become the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion.
That's
We
a
gotta
good
get the
take,
fuck
ladies
outta
and
here.
gentlemen. This guy's good.
NWA Hard Times.
Oh boy. All right.
Yeah, we out of here.
On that note,
Peace.
salute.